Aries, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead, keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages there as well. And if you're interested in a personal reading, have a look at the description below. I am offering a promotion for the month of May, and it's a good time to get a reading if you've been wanting one. All right, my friends, let's get started. We're going to do a Celtic cross and see what the current energy is around Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week ahead. All right. First card out, Page of Pentacles in reverse. So there may be something in your current energy right now that you're missing the signs. You're missing some message that you've been, has been sent to you or that is around you. There's some sort of message around you that you may not have noticed or been paying attention to, or maybe you dismissed it. Sometimes I see the Page of Pentacles and when he shows up in the reverse as us sort of not paying attention, ignoring the signs around us. You may be seeing patterns that keep repeating and you're ignoring them, or you're not really noticing something that's coming into your energy field right now. This can sometimes show up in our behavior as procrastination or giving up too early on something that we haven't even really gotten started yet, but we sort of have this idea and we're giving up. We're not giving it any energy because we've maybe dismissed it, or again, there's maybe some signs around you guiding you towards something and you're sort of ignoring them, or you've just not paying attention. Let's see what the obstacle is here. Okay, interesting. As I said, not paying attention, we see the Hangman. So you're really being guided to see things from a different perspective because you may be dismissing something that hasn't even gotten off the ground yet. You may be sort of thinking to yourself, well, that'll never work, And it's interesting because there's this sort of idea that you only receive certain inspirations or ideas because there's something to it, like if there was nothing to it, then it might not have entered your energy field at all. Something here is asking for your attention, Aries, and you're sort of being guided to see things from a different perspective, and perhaps not seeing things from a certain perspective is creating this sort of missing the signs. And so you might be overly focused on a certain thought or belief, and as a result you're missing something that's trying to express itself in your outer reality right now. Let's see, what is top of mind? What is top of mind for Aries right now? The King of Rods. So, you're highly creative, you're very ambitious, you're really tapping into the part of yourself that wants to do something new, and it feels like something that is very inspiring and makes you feel really confident and ambitious. But there may be a part of this that you're not seeing because you're maybe focused overly on sort of this idea of it not working, right? Like the Page of Pentacles, again, it's a page. So it's kind of like a message coming through, and right off the bat, we're missing the boat. So you may have something inspiring on top of your mind here that you're focused on and you're thinking about, but are you willing to put some action behind it? Are you willing to sort of get started? Right? When I see that page in reverse, it kind of makes me think that you're giving up before you've even gotten started here, Aries. Now, let's see what's at the root of this. Okay, interesting. So we're seeing the Strength card kind of coming out on its side. So I'm going to leave it that way because that tells me that there may be moments where you're feeling confident and that you can overcome any obstacle. And that's sort of what's happening here on top of mind, on your conscious way of thinking, is that generally speaking, you're very confident and you really trust yourself to overcome any obstacle that comes in your way, and it feels like you may have sort of a double-edged sword there, where sometimes you feel that way and other times you really doubt yourself, Aries. So perhaps in this moment we're seeing the inner strength card here on its side because you're not at your full confident level. You're not at the optimum level of confidence to go for something that has just occurred to you. You know, it's a new idea that you have here. It's a new inspiration. It's barely had a chance to sort of show up, and you may have already dismissed it because you don't think you can do it, or you think there are maybe too many obstacles or too many issues that you won't be able to overcome. It almost feels to me like this is something new, that this is something that you don't have a lot of experience with. And so that might be part of why your confidence is not as the optimal level as it usually is. Let's see what the past influences are. Interesting, lovers. So the past influences here for you seem to focus on making choices that really are in alignment with your authenticity. And so it feels like maybe in the past you've had sort of an easier time making such choices where you've sort of just been following what fits for you without hesitation, without doubting yourself, you know, and sort of making choices that feel like they're really expressing your truth and your authenticity and who you are, your uniqueness. And not holding back, you know, like not pretending to be someone else just to fit in, not feeling like you can't sort of be vulnerable and express yourself openly. Let's see what the upcoming influences are here. Upcoming, we see the Queen of Swords coming out. So again, the Queen of Swords is an interesting energy. Again, it makes me feel like you want to express your truth, that you want to really dedicate yourself to standing up for your truth, as not just expressing it, but also sort of standing up for it, like being very unbiased in your sort of honesty, you know what I mean? And having a lot of integrity and being very direct as you seek the truth and express the truth. So it's interesting. I feel like what's happening in your current energy right now is bringing you kind of to a place where these characteristics are rising to the surface. You're being guided to tap into your ambition. You're being guided to tap into your integrity and your thoughtfulness as a communicator and as well as a leader. Like both of these cards really do express a lot of leadership skills and very strong ones, very ambitious, very thoughtful, very unbiased, and sort of carries with it this idea of expression that's not limited by a lack of confidence. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. Like the King of Wands is such a visionary and so timeless that success tends to follow him in the sense that he doesn't give up on things, right? And neither does the Queen of Swords. So that makes me feel like you hold those characteristics within yourself right now, Aries. It's just allowing them to sort of come to the surface so that they can really be expressed, and that you can sort of tap into whatever this new beginning is with those confident attributes, with that timelessness as your vision, and with that sort of thoughtfulness as a leader who's seeking out the truth about this situation, you know, looking at it honestly from multiple perspectives, right? Which is that Hanged Man. Let's see, how does Aries see themselves right now? How does Aries see themselves right now? Seven of Cups is coming out, and it kind of danced around in my hands a bit. So you might be sort of looking at all the options, and there might be a part of you that's sort of getting excited, but there might be a part of you that sort of feels a little overwhelmed by the options. And as you're seeking the right option, you might get kind of hung up on the right option and start to think that there's a wrong option. You know what I mean? And once we get into a place where we're like, I want to avoid what's wrong and choose what's right, it kind of puts a lot of pressure on ourselves to make that decision in the first place, when really it's just about what feels like it expresses your truth, which option feels the most like you, and there might be several. So it might be interesting to try a couple of different things as you're facing all of these options that are sort of triggering different emotions in you. It's an interesting time to look at things from multiple different perspectives to see what resonates with you, and try it. Just because you pick one option doesn't mean that the other options vanish, you know what I mean? And so try not to put too much pressure on yourself, because I feel like that might cause you to give up and not choose anything. Ooh, those came flying out. I was gonna just ask, how do other people see Aries? And we're seeing your Aries card come out right now. There's the Emperor. So other people do recognize you as a leader. And seeing the Five of Pentacles come out with that says to me that right now you might be revealing a part of yourself outwardly that is afraid of setbacks. In that, seeing this Five of Pentacles makes me feel like there's a part of you that's afraid, like I was saying, of choosing the wrong option. And that wrong option might leave you in a place where you're sort of at a loss, right? And so that's interesting. So other people are recognizing that you definitely have these leadership skills, but that you might be sort of fearful of loss, so much so that you're not willing to take a chance on something. So you might need to take a risk here, and a calculated risk, but it might feel risky all the same to choose one of these options. And so it's interesting to see that, because I think that right now what's showing up as your sort of outer reflection is revealing that you may be fearing going in a direction that leads to a loss, and that is stopping you from beginning something new. And, it's interesting because the bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands, which is a time of success, acknowledgement, and recognition. So I feel like there could be some risk involved in this new idea that you're thinking about, but that it could really pay off. It could really pay off, and it could really show you just how much inner strength you have, because we have that here as what's driving this reading. Let's have a look at what are the hopes and fears around Aries right now. This new beginning. That's the hope and fear. And it's just the one card. So it's interesting because there may be a part of you that is like, okay, I've got this idea and it's a new beginning. There's a lot of potential being offered to me in the way of a new beginning here. Am I going to go for it? And then as you weigh it out, it's like you're really hopeful that it'll be an exciting new opportunity that will be successful. It won't lead to losses, and that you will find yourself in this opportunity as being able to really be authentic and express your truth. Now, the other part of you might be fearful, like we said, about the losses. You might be fearful that this new opportunity will bring in some kind of loss in the material world, like a financial loss, or you're maybe worried that you'll be wasting time and that it won't work out, and then you'll have to sort of deal with what to do next, and sort of all of these fears are compounding when it comes to thinking about this new opportunity. It's interesting because often our hopes and fears are related to the same things. And so it feels like you're hopeful that this new venture will lead to success in the future and that there will be a lot of potential. But I think there's also some fear that won't happen, that it won't be prosperous, that if you plant your seed, it won't bloom in the future, and there won't be success and prosperity. And so it's very interesting. I think seeing the Hanged Man here is an interesting card for you to consider, because looking at things from a different perspective can often change our beliefs. And when we change our beliefs, we have the opportunity to allow our nervous system not to get triggered by fear. And when we remove that trigger of fear, then we make a lot of space for sort of visualizing our own success and visualizing and receiving sort of guidance on how to achieve that success. Now, the bottom of the deck is the Magician here, which is just, perfect timing as I'm about to start to talk about how to shift your beliefs and your thoughts in order to shift your outer experience. And so seeing the Magician in the reverse tells me that right now your energy needs to be more focused on what you desire, more focused on success, more focused on prosperity and abundance and the potential, right, that exists. Because seeing the Magician in reverse says that your energy may not be focused. It may be scattered, which is why you don't feel confident at this time. And maybe that is coming through because there's a lot of fear here. There's a lot of fear of loss. There's a fear of choosing wrong. There's a fear of something not working out. So let's have a look and see what the potential final outcome could be in this situation for Aries. Judgment. This is a major realization, Aries. Seeing the Judgment card as your final outcome card, it's one card away from the end of the major arcana. So you're so close to realizing something here. This is a breakthrough. I really feel like you're going to discover something about yourself through this process that's going to really have an impact. And it's going to reveal to you what's next for you, I feel like you're moving towards a really new beginning looking at this reading, and that seeing the Judgment card in this position really says to me that right now you're getting to the place of being completely transparent and realizing so much about yourself through this process. And as you realize so much about yourself, it feels like you're awakening to a whole new timeline. And it's interesting. It's like a time of self-acceptance where light and shadow are one, and you accept yourself as you are. This feels like it got started in the past here with that Lover's card, and it's just moving forward like a little bit every day. But it's interesting because of that Page of Pentacles that we saw. I feel like there's a part of you that is maybe doubting this a little bit, right? And maybe denying to yourself who you really are. And this whole reading is trying to guide you to who you really are. And some new venture, new task, new project that will help you express yourself as a leader. And it feels like it's going to really be a time where you understand yourself as a leader that can overcome many, many obstacles and has a lot of ideas about how to express yourself moving forward. This is such an interesting reading for you. Bottom of the deck, I hope this helps you, is the Ten of Pentacles. This is a time of leaving a legacy. This is a time of abundance and security and stability in the material world, where we feel grounded and we feel stable and we feel like we are growing something that is going to be there after us, like we're leaving a mark here with the Ten of Pentacles. And it really feels like not only are you going to be sort of in a place where you feel stable and grounded, but I feel like whatever this is going to offer other people stability as well. Maybe people that work for you, or maybe the community that you're involved in. It just feels like whatever you're working on right now, Aries, is going to have an effect on a lot of people in a positive way. And so keep going. Don't give up, because this whole reading sort of started with your current energy as being like, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't do this. Maybe I'll look at other options, and then you look at the other options and you get all caught up in this critical energy where you might start to really overthink things and feel overwhelmed by having to choose the right option, right, quote unquote, right versus wrong, when really it feels like you know exactly what you need to do, and you just sort of have to get on with it one step at a time, right? Okay, let's close this reading with an oracle card for Aries. What is the highest guidance for Aries right now? Between worlds. Yeah, you're on your way somewhere here, Aries. You're moving from one timeline to another, and it's just getting started. And I feel like if you were to toss in the towel right now, it would be it would cause a lot of delays. You know, I don't think it would take this off the table, but it would cause a lot of delays for you to get this moving. And I feel like right now it's a time where it might feel a little bit uncomfortable, because that card, the Between Worlds card, does really signify a transition, and you're not fully out of one situation before you jump into another. And there may be this sort of should I or shouldn't I, like you're one toe in, one toe out. So I feel like just go for it is the message of this reading. Go for it and see what this experience is going to teach you about yourself, because it's going to teach you something about yourself with that Judgment card. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading, my friends. I hope it's been helpful, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care, and I'm sending you so much love.